Aloha, Charlie. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Well, today I see that we have Facebook Live with Mel and Charlie. No bogus dates.
Yeah, one of the wonderful things with this is called Restream, and they have 24/7 tech support. 24/7 tech support. So right after the show last night, I sent them a chat message. They got right back and they told me exactly how to fix it, and
Excellent.
it's all working good, man. Looking good. So we'll see what happens. We got Tina Yamaki tonight from Retail Merchants of Hawaii, and there she is. She can hear us, but she cannot see us. But we can see. I can see her. Can you see her, Charlie?
No, it's only from your end. It's only from your
Okay,
end.
I can see her. Well, you know what? I'm so thankful because this is a new platform, and we was hoping that we could get that we had no problems with the connection. So I'm hoping that people can see us because I'm not showing any comments on the feed.
Oh no, you get all the comments coming through.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. There, oh, here it's coming now on the side. Bingo, bingo. Wow, 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 wow. Better. Oh, what a disappointment. No sparkles. The sparkles will be coming. The sparkles will be coming. Anyway, we got about 5 minutes before we bring Tina in. Appreciate her coming on to make sure the system works. We're going to have a good time again. Please share, everybody.
Yep.
Share this now because you know that it's important information tonight. We're going to be talking about the impacts that the lockdown on Oahu is having on retail merchants, and we all know what's going on. We covered the lockdown last night, step by step. We covered every single item, so we're going to hear from Tina about that, and it'll be very interesting. So just a recap on today. Testing seems to be the big deal on Oahu. And I'm not sure how many we did on Kauai, but again, the Surgeon General came on, and it seems like Mayor Caldwell is trying to beat Chicago. I think it was Chicago or Atlanta, Georgia's record, because the Surgeon General said no one ever tested 5,000 people in a day. So it looks like that is the mayor's goal, is to beat somebody's record rather than focus on some, quality, effective testing. And I saw your post, Charlie, H3,
Yep.
H3. Is that what
Yep.
they're talking about?
Yep.
What can you share a little bit about that?
Well, I think what they're saying is they're proposing to close down the H3, whereby they will be um, basically they will be utilizing both the Kaneohe bound and Honolulu bound tunnels. As you drive in, you test, and you drive straight out, and there will be no turnarounds allowed. You have to exit the tunnels and go and find the Ko'olau route to reroute if you want to head back to Oahu and so forth. So you're gonna have to do that. But like I said, it's sad in a way that it's good in a way that they're doing the testing what they needed. But this just goes to show you the amount of steps that needs to be taken to make up for someone's mistake. That's all I
Yeah.
can summarize out of this
Well,
whole thing.
there's some horrific mistakes, and I just this is what I don't understand. You're going to shut down the H3. Aloha Stadium can hold 50,000 people. We can only test 5,000 people a day. So there's more than enough room for social distancing. Now I know they get some rental cars parked in the parking lot. Maybe that's what's prohibiting them. I don't know. But my gosh, to shut down a whole H3, my goodness. But anyway,
Hey,
um,
a lot of people saw your video today, which was, you know, I'm gonna be one. Both my wife and I agreed with you. Yep, you got people, especially this is almost like saying, uh, it's like you get on tidal wave warning. They're telling you when tidal wave is coming, but you just like go in the water for whatever, and you see the water receding, and you go, oh, look at the shells, nice shells. That's an indicator that when tidal wave is coming. And then you scream for help when the waves come in, and that kind of stuff. And it's like a bunch of nonsense.
I see a couple of people say that's the first time they saw me angry. Because I don't get angry. See, I don't. I'm a, my wife is laughing. you know, well, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. I think most of you saw it. I think we had over 5,000 views already. That's incredible. But yeah, I was pissed off. I was pissed off because here we are listening to the news of Honolulu. Four more people passed away,
Hmm.
306 more cases. Hospitals are full. I got information that they're setting up the triage hospital at Blaisdell Center, and they're trying to find nurses and find medical personnel. This stuff is real, and listening to these guys minimize this is just. And when I saw those people protesting, none of them with masks, none of them social distancing. I just really got upset. So anyway, if I offended anybody, I apologize. I saw a few of my friends in that group, which I don't plan to talk to them anymore, so I don't care. At the end of the day, we gotta, the ending of my video, I basically said, the only way we're gonna get through this is if we stick together and help each other. Like the hurricane in, if we don't stick together and help each other and respect each other, then we're not gonna get through it. Period. And I think that's a great segue to bring in Tina because, we cannot forget about those people that are being forced to shut down. We want people to be safe, but again, I forgot, Charlie. I didn't even. This is like breaking news. I'm so excited. I forgot to even tell you because I just got the call as I was laying down before I started the fired up this thing. Guess who I got a call from today? A phone call.
From the Surgeon General.
No, he didn't respond, but I did get one from Les Condo, the state auditor.
Oh,
Oh, I mean, he called. We spoke for probably 15, 20 minutes, and he will be on the show next week. He's coming out with another report tomorrow on the Department of Education. So it'll be next week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, and we will have the Les Condo, the state auditor, on our show to share with us the good and the bad of his audit. So
can
anyway,
can I share something with all of you folks? And this is late breaking, and I wanted to do it before we started. It's good news, and that is everyone's calling me, or nobody's calling me, and I feel left out. So I just want to let you know that I feel kind of sad right now, but I'll get over it, folks. Thank you for not
I'll
thinking of me. I'll
remind you to.
get over it.
I'll put your cell phone number up before we shut down today, and
No,
you'll
you
get.
don't. No, you don't.
Look, we already get congratulations. You reached 100 messages today with this chat. We didn't start, so we're gonna bring in Tina right now. There's a couple of things I gotta do here, but yeah, we really appreciate Tina. She's working hard up in Honolulu, and there's Tina. And look what I did for
Hi.
Tina. Look what I did for Tina. Watch Tina. Bam! Oh my God! Like we are almost there, except for my curtains in the back. Charlie moved his setting. He built a nice studio in his house, and looks like it's the same house as yours, Tina. Are you guys living in the same house or what?
Don't tell our secrets. Don't tell our secrets.
But anyway, in as a tribute to you, Tina, and for those of you that don't know, this is Tina Yamaki. She's the president CEO of Retail Merchants of Hawaii. Very busy right now, and we're going to hear all about it. But because of you, Tina,
Oh no. I love it.
and for those of you that don't know, oh well. So, Tina, we'll talk about that later on if we have time. But anyway, Tina, thank you for taking the time for coming, joining us again. I mean, you were with us months ago. Actually, was it the first shutdown?
It was during the first shutdown, yeah.
Yeah, and you managed. I mean, I know we had some casualties in the retail merchants area, and then this one. So why don't you first introduce yourself a little bit, and then tell us what's going on there in the big city of Honolulu.
So basically, Retail Merchants isn't just a Honolulu-based organization. We actually are a statewide organization that represents retailers. So we have all the small mom and pop stores, we have the big box stores, we have resellers all the way up to luxury sellers, shopping malls, and everybody in between. So if you're selling something, we're probably the ones representing you. So what happened was today was the second shutdown here in Honolulu, where we're going back to what March was. We're all non-essential businesses had to close their doors. I think the exception this time is fabric stores can be allowed to open and operate. We're told by the city and county that we can't do online sales, where you buy online, pick up at the store ships it to you, which is kind of sad because a lot of even the national brands, their distribution centers are here in Hawaii. So if you ordered something, it might take a little longer, might be more expensive now with the shutdown. We don't know how long it's going to be. The sad part about it is, these hot spot COVID cases were not done by retailers or in the retail setting. And I'll admit, yes, we did have some employees who tested positive, but we caught it early on. And as soon as they tested, shut down the store, cleaned the store, all of the employees, went to get tested. And then, 3 days later, we opened up the store. So, we had a problem, we addressed the problem. We always want to be sure that when you come into our stores, it's safe, not only for the employees, but also for our customers who come in. So this shutdown now is a little different, and it's a little harder because there are no more loans or grants that were out there, like the PPP loans by Small Business Association and some of these other grants that were out there. There are some from the county, but it's really hard to get. I heard on Kauai, I think it was in the first half hour, there were like 600 applicants, and I think that one has shut down already.
Yeah.
So that shows the need out there. So what happens when we shut down is we have to lay off employees. So you have more unemployment now. Our friends, families, neighbors, they're out of a job. And now you don't have the extra $600 federal money that was given to unemployment. You don't have the stimulus checks. You don't have a lot of food drives anymore. You have them, but they're more sporadic. So to help out, it's harder now. So we're also seeing that, some of these retailers who said, if there's another shutdown, we're not going to open our doors again. And I'm sure that's going to be the case. Is they shut their doors, but they're probably not going to be reopening. And its sad part is, it's not just the small retailers, it's the medium and the large ones too that aren't surviving. And, we've heard that there's a rumor going around that, the big businesses are going to buy out the small mom and pops. And that's not the case, because you are seeing national brands going bankrupt as well. So it's kind of doom and gloom right now for businesses. And the other nail in the coffin is they keep pushing the opening date of tourism. And we get it. It's supposed to be where we're all safe with the tourists coming in. But I think there's a lot more questions than answers and a plan in that respect.
Hey, Tina, there's this one question that popped up again. You talked about online sales locally that's been shut down. Someone is saying that Macy's was selling online for drive pickup on Oahu locations. Did they receive an exception to the rule?
So right now we're working with the city and county to try and get that where businesses can do that. There is some confusion because if you read the order, it states that, you can do deliveries and mailings if you have for goods and services. So we're trying to get some clarification and working with the city right now on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was. We went through the order last night in detail, and it's quite confusing because it's basically left to interpretation. What is considered basically a support function of an essential or basically an authorized business or function. So yeah, it's quite confusing. A couple of things. Number one, this one came without a lot of warning.
Yeah.
It was something that happened. I don't know what you guys have, 48 hours or maybe I think it was 48 hours or
Yeah.
maybe 72 hours. I'm not sure. And how many businesses did we lose after the first shutdown?
So to get it right, they did a press conference early on. I think it was like on Tuesday. The actual order that came out where they posted it, where we could all read it, didn't come out until after 3 o'clock yesterday. And as you guys know, stores right now are closing earlier, like at 6, 7 o'clock. So they had like 3 to 4 hours to say, hey, I guess I don't qualify and I have to close down. And for stores to close down, it's not as easy as turning off the lights, closing the door and locking it. They have to secure their merchandise. They have to do an inventory. You have to close out your POS or your cash registers. You have to secure everything. You have to lay off your employees. You have to let them know. There's a lot of questions and a lot of moving parts to this. So people were scrambling to be able to close today.
Okay.
And then your other question, I think, was how many stores closed. So I think KHON reported that according to Yelp in Hawaii, nearly 900 businesses closed between March and July, and 10% of those are gone for good.
Yeah, I was just kind of wondering about your organization, the retail merchants. I think the 900 actually was just in Honolulu.
Yeah,
That
I
number
think
that came
so.
out was just in Honolulu. That wasn't even counting the ones on the outer islands. Uh, but we watched the press conferences yesterday and today with the Surgeon General, and it is very clear in my mind that with the increase of testing, almost we're probably it's what 2.5 times, maybe 3 times more testing every day.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see a lot more cases. We're going to see a lot
Mm-hmm.
more positives. Not necessarily more people getting sick. These are people that are getting tested that may not have been in contact with anybody, but we would definitely see an increase in positives. And they're going to test for 2 weeks. They're going to test 70,000 people in 2 weeks, which means typically it's a 10, 11, 12% positive rate. That's
Mm-hmm.
basically through contact tracing. So let's just say it's half of that. Let's say it's 5%.
Mm-hmm.
And we get 3,500 cases. Um, the state won't be ready to open up. They just, I don't know how they will open up with when these cases are being so increasing so much. Has there been any talk about some support, financial support from the governor? I know you talked about the counties are trying, and we've uh, ran out of all the grant money. I know that a couple programs on Kauai they got more applicants than they have money. But is there any talk about the governor releasing CARES money to keep these businesses afloat, the small businesses afloat, until we get an all clear?
We haven't heard, and when we asked him, it didn't seem like he was going to, unfortunately. Um, it's just really sad because businesses right now are suffering. They're closed down. They can't afford their rents right now. The Honolulu City Council yesterday passed a resolution. It was introduced by Tommy Waters, and it had to deal with making sure that some of the county projects could get started. We could get a grant program going for lease rents because for any business, lease rents is the single largest monthly expense everybody has. It's kind of like your mortgage. And whether they're open or not, they still have to pay it. And we're finding out that a lot of the landlords have not gone and talked to them, or the deals that they offered them was, you don't have to pay rent until December or January. Well, if you don't have any income coming in now, you're not going to be able to pay that balloon payment in December. There's just no way. These guys need help. And a lot of them have told me too, they're selling their homes, or, they can't afford their rentals, so they're moving in with family now. It's just really sad. They really need help. And there is a grant program out there that's really great. We're looking at probably is trying to push to get some CARES Act money for that, for this to do it statewide. I mean, it's a little hard right now because legislature isn't in session. We are talking to the governor and we've asked him about it. We've proposed it. City Council on Oahu is looking at it, and I think we're going to start floating it to the neighbor islands as well.
I think what kind of baffles me, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. And this goes to what triggers the decision and how they come to the conclusion. Because we never had, and this is going to get back to this old problem that we've been having from day one, and that is contact tracing.
Mhm.
So without the contact tracing, the when you collect data, the data is useful in just like marketing, like your marketing
Mhm.
data, right? It tells you what direction to point you, that will kind of give you a good track on where businesses should go, because it shows a proven record.
Mhm.
Well, When they're closing down retail businesses, we have no data to say that the majority or a sizable amount of people shopping got the infection that way. We know there's gatherings, but me personally, I would like to know were a lot of it attributed to when people gathered at in a mall, or where was it? But we don't have that data. So what
So
happens? So what happens is it's I think the retail outlets like yourself, you're getting penalized not by who you are, but by behavior. Because what they say that when everybody gathers, that's when most likely they're going to start contracting the virus. So it's a behavioral pattern.
either that or it's just easier to say just close down everything.
Mm.
We got to understand too, government, the mayor, governor, department heads, they've never had to tell their employees, I'm sorry, I have to lay you off. We can't afford you. I'm sorry, you have to be furloughed. I'm sorry, your pay has to be cut. I mean, that's what's going on right now. And they don't understand the consequences or the hardship a lot of these people. I mean, reading about it and seeing about it is different than when you're actually experiencing it. And what we're seeing at the malls is, retailers from the get-go have always been sure that, when you walk into that store, it is clean. We want to be sure that you're wearing that mask. We're cleaning down, the high touch areas. We're making sure you're social distancing. We have the plexi screens between you and the cashier. And when you're in a store, the longest person or the longest time you're going to have in contact with somebody is when you're checking out. But you have a mask on, they have a mask on, there's a screen up normally between you two. So the contact is really, really minimal. We have found that employees have been affected who've come to the store, come to work, and, they temperature check their employees. But what happens is, like I said, they close the store down, they clean it, they test, send everybody to go get tested. 3 days later, they open up. So we are taking responsibility. What we're finding out, though, is these hotspots have been funeral homes, parties at home, um, at the beach, people get together or, that kind of stuff. The other thing you guys were talking about, contact tracers, business is getting really frustrated because there is no plan. And if there is a plan, no one has shared it with us. And if they share it with us, it's so like last minute, type of thing. But, with the contact tracers telling us there's a lot of them, like hundreds of them, and we come to find out there's only 8, it's kind of disheartening because it's not what it seems to be. And the other thing is, if you look at the numbers of arrivals, I know it only shows the arrivals on Oahu, the breakdown. But if you look at it, there are a lot of blanks. Nobody's filling out those forms. I went one day, it was 91. I think today it's in the 60s. But people are just walking off the plane. So when tourism does open up, the question is, how are we going to know who's tested, who's not tested, who filled out the form? Are they really staying there? I mean, we're dealing with maybe, 300-400 tourists now, but when you open it up and thousands are coming in, how are they going to do that? Our concern is, somebody from a hotspot is going to come into a store and infect everybody, because what we're finding out now is people are just tired of this pandemic already. And yes, and I'm going to use my favorite word, there's so many okolepukas out there who come into the stores and, they don't wear a mask, or they refuse to wear a mask, or they try to circumvent the system, by having a lace one on, or having their nose exposed, or the mask under their chin, or using it as a headband. It's my right, is what they say. The president doesn't have one, so why should I? But it's not about you. It's about keeping everybody else safe. Our kapuna shopping, our keiki that's shopping, our employees that are working. So we have to maintain that, and just remember that it's not about you. Sorry, it's about everybody else.
Don't apologize for that. I mean, that's just the frustration. We talked about it last night about churches. Churches. What's
That was the other one, churches.
Yeah,
They
I
had
mean,
hotspots.
so I think there's some truth in what you're saying, that they want to flex their muscle to convince themselves that they're doing the best they can, and I'm talking they, meaning the administration,
Mhm.
and not really thinking these things out. Some businesses, some people have a free pass, and others don't. And again, I think for me, if you have to have, and you cannot tell me they don't have the money. I was in government long enough to know that you talked about they don't have the problem of telling people they're going to be laid off or their hours are going to be cut. They don't. In fact, they had the luxury of telling their employees that you guys are all getting raises. Yeah, the state is crippled, but yet the legislature and the governor agreed that they were going to go ahead and grant, not even defer the raises, just grant them out. And it's a horrible message to send to all of those people that are in retail, are in their own small business at home, to employees in the hotels that they're not working, and but your state and county workers got raises, and I understand it was a prior commitment or a prior contract, but we're in a pandemic, and I have heard nothing from the state as far as low interest or no interest loans to businesses that will definitely collapse, because you see, this is when this passes, the collateral damage will be significant, and it's going to cost this state more in unemployment, in the social costs, because so many people will have lost their jobs, and so many people will be relying on the government for their livelihoods and their survival. So I don't understand why we cannot go out and provide this financing, very low interest, or maybe in some cases no interest, to our stores and our retail merchants, so we can assure that when we flip that switch back on, they can roll right into existence. I haven't heard a thing.
We haven't either, and that's the problem. There's so many more questions. I mean, this thing has been going on since March. We're in end of August already. There's been a lot of time for people to start planning, to start thinking about what are we going to do, have option A, B, and C available. But we're not hearing of any. And that's where business is getting really frustrated, because, when you put your whole heart and soul and your life savings into a business and it's, going bankrupt, it's just heartbreaking. Or you see these businesses that have been around for 30, 40, 50 years and are iconic, and they can no longer survive. I mean, that's a part of history, and that's just sad to see those, have to close. And it's through no fault of their own.
Well, I go back to what I just said a little while ago, and that is I'm still trying to wrap my head around um, how they derived at what closes, what stays open. The rhyme or reason behind it, it's, we have what is called positive reinforcement, right?
Mhm.
You reinforce the good that you're trying to drive everyone in that direction. What we have going on right now is negative reinforcement, because it doesn't make sense. So it's negative right from the get go. So then it becomes very tempting to challenge the system. And
Mhm.
that's what's making this thing hard. If you want total compliance, you got to make it positive in such a way that everyone is given, like you said, at the end of the tunnel, they're given that pot of gold. It's going to be shown. Right now, there is nothing. There is nothing is incentivized for us to even work in this direction, because all we're talking about is closing down.
Yeah.
There's no plan B. There's no plan C when this is all over. Okay, we shut down. We got rid of the virus. Now, this government needs to jumpstart and get some income, which usually you start taxing the people, right? But if you got no businesses, nobody's working, what are we gonna do? Go back to the old days and start bartering with shells and farm animals? I mean, Jesus, what are we gonna do?
There's a couple other components in there too that we got to think about. The state of Hawaii has borrowed a lot of money from the federal government, whether it's a grant or not. I mean, it's right now it's borrowed money. The other thing is Young Brothers has just raised their prices 46% to ship to the neighbor islands. And it's not just going to affect the neighbor islands, it's going to affect all islands. Because if you buy a shirt at Macy's on Oahu and you return it on Kauai, it's the same price. So you're going to see across the board increases going up. Um, and it's just sad because Hawaii is already so expensive, but we also realize that we need that barge because that's the only way to get goods, across the ocean to the islands.
Hmm.
So it's,
Exactly.
it's just all compounding on a lot of things, and it's really sad what's going on. And I feel for everybody.
What kind of plan right now, Tina,
Mhm.
that your organization has or is looking at? I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to draw any kind of game plan because you're in this doldrum, right? You're on a sailboat and there's no wind, and you're just right here. What do you do? Are you folks trying to figure out some type of strategic plan the best that you can, or what are you advising your members?
Right now it's really hard to advise anybody because we don't know what's going to happen the next day. These orders come out so fast, and right when you start to wrap your head around one, something else comes up.
Hmm.
So it's been really hard for businesses. They plan, and say, okay, tourism is going to open in September, and it doesn't. It's going to open in October. Is it really going to open in October? And what year at this point? um, there's so much uncertainty, and there's a lot of frustration with government right now because we cannot plan unless we know what the government's plan is. And we also realize, I mean, Kauai too, just because they open up tourism on October 1st doesn't mean everyone's going to come to the island and go, hey, let's go. It's not like going, hey, let's go to the shopping center and just jump in the car and drive down there. You got to kind of plan for it. So you're looking at about 4 to 6 months out before you're going to get a good volume of visitors back where it's really going to show a positive increase in your economy. But the question is, how many more businesses are going to be able to survive one more month of closure or even 2 weeks more of closure?
Again, I mean, I listened to the Surgeon General today, and he was very careful with his words. I don't know if you watched that today when he said, did you watch that when he said 2, 3, or 4 weeks?
Yeah.
He see, and this is my problem with the government. We talked about this last night and several nights about over promising and under delivering.
Mhm.
They know, the Surgeon General, because it's happened in so many other places, that the trend is not going to change here in Hawaii. There's the trade winds is not going to help us get through COVID quicker.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's going to be the actions of each and every one of us to wear our masks and do all of those things. But we know. I mean, look how long. Just look at the last time. It's not going to be much different. So when you come out with a pacifying time period of 2 weeks, when you know it's not going to be 2 weeks, and I hate to sound like that, but I'm just a realist, and I know that based on the numbers that we're seeing, we haven't even started to level off to make the downward journey. We haven't even we're still going up and up and up and up, and then we gotta flatten out, and then we're gonna come down, and then we're gonna flatten out again, and we're far from that. And that's why I think, to misinform the public, and knowing that it's going to be, I know, Tina, I know you don't want to hear this, but I'm just being real, that it's going to be longer than 2 weeks. And it's, in fact, the Surgeon General said he's hoping that we'll be open up by Christmas, but that he said it's dependent on us and what we do.
Mhm.
And that he's right. But politics is a strange animal. He's not going to come up here and throw the governor under the bus. He's not going to throw
Mhm.
the Department of Health under the bus. He leaves that for me and Charlie. But but I would be much more appreciative, seriously,
Mhm.
Tina, is if he came out or they came out and just told us what they really thought. That based on the trend, based on the numbers, based on the number of the tests that we're doing, based on the positivity number, the percentage, we see this thing going out 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, and people are going to freak out, but there has to be that that uh, that aid from the government to help these businesses through.
And
It,
that's
it,
what we.
we need that. I mean, there's no way we will all perish economically if we don't keep the small business afloat. That's economics 101. That's nothing new.
We sit on the House COVID committee, and that's one of the things that, when the governor was there, it's like, we need more transparency here. Even from the Department of Health, there has to be more transparency. Where are these tests coming from? Who's infected? Where is infected? What is the communities that are, highly infected, and why? How are they really getting it? These are the things that we want to know. And as business, and I'm sure not just business, it's the community too, that everybody wants to know, what is the plan? What are we going to do? How much longer is this going to happen? But it doesn't seem like anybody has a plan. Or if they have a plan, they're not sharing it. And the question then is, why aren't they sharing it? We should all be on the same page and working together on, trying to open up the visitor industry and trying to make sure this COVID pandemic, gets squashed. But when you tell people, so what we're finding out too, or seeing, is when you tell people you have to quarantine at home. So, somebody comes back from the mainland and they go to the house, and then auntie and uncle comes over and visits, and they're not quarantined in their room. I mean, they're quarantined with a whole bunch of family members over too. We've seen that. So, it has to be not just wear a mask, it's wear a mask properly, cover your nose and mouth, quarantine. Quarantine means you're in your room by yourself for 2 weeks and you get food. There's a knock on the door and there's a tray, where you get it. But people aren't doing that either.
Last night I talked about when you drive your car,
Mhm.
we naturally, for one reason or another, we learn how to keep a safe distance because we spend a lot of money and we don't want to rear end somebody, right?
Mhm.
A lot of this stuff goes back to the messaging. And Mel and I take credit for one thing. We were pounding the drums way before, and we sounded like a bunch of Looney Tunes. I asked questions about mutating, and he said, no, 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 but now get proof it does.
Yeah.
It's that kind of stuff. And I think, this is kind of getting off what your expertise is, but I think it applies to how there's this interaction when you're at a retail business. Nobody really talks about the fine droplets. I mean, if they start to understand the science of it and really push that message hard, then I think then and only then people will understand how you can get infected. Because right now it's like this big boogeyman. You can't see it, and all of a sudden it appears. Either you got it or you don't got it. And then if you got it bad, then everybody start crying because why? Their loved one is in the hospital. You cannot visit them, and sometimes you get bad news. Like, unfortunately, it wrenches my heart to think that today the numbers were four this time. We handle one death, it's bad enough. You get two a
Mhm.
day, it's really bad. Now you got four,
Yeah.
and all the way around. It sucks because I don't think the messaging got out right.
Yeah. And what we're seeing and what we're hearing too is, unless you have somebody that has COVID or had COVID, you don't understand the severity of it. We are all very lax right now. I mean, I'm one of those. I start walking, it's like, oh, God, fun it. I forgot my mask and I have to run back to my car. And now I keep extras in my purse. But it's a conditioning thing that we all need to do, and
Yeah.
it's something, we gotta do it. And I don't care, if it's inconvenient. We all know that, it's hard to breathe and stuff. But hey, women, trust me, sister, you saving plenty money on lipstick. You don't have to do that. You only got to wear makeup from here down. But um, positive side, right? But it's something we all need to do and continue to do.
It's not this guy. You'll be walking around two tone. From above, you're all nice, from below, you're all caca.
That is something. You get people who work outside. They have, what is it called, mask face,
Yeah.
where they get the sunburn from here and up, and if they have the glasses on. And then there's also something called mask acne, where now even if you're an adult, you get acne right where the mask
Yeah.
is. So you're going through puberty again.
Oh God. Sorry, growing out my goatee because it protects the skin from the mask.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
we went. We got our favorite place for coffee in the morning. Plantation Coffee. That's a very small shop in Lihui, behind in the old Lihui Plantation building. And today was their last day.
Oh,
They cannot. I mean, they tried, and they do such an amazing service because they hire people that have come out of drug court programs,
Mhm.
living in halfway house, trying to get their lives back together, and it's just rough to see those guys close down today, and they don't even know if they'll open up again. And again, it's sad, and uh, I agree with you so much, Tina, that, and I think we've all been saying this for a long time, that there is no real plan. These people that are making decisions, three different people from a couple of different departments come out saying different things. They are not on the same page. They go day by day. They have a briefing in the morning. Everybody goes on their merry way, and depending on who the media talks to, you get a different response.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. I've worked for shitty companies before that had terrible leadership. I've worked for bad managers. I've in the service. I serve under so many different commanders and
Mhm.
leaders. I've never seen anything like this. I've never, ever, ever seen anything like this. And the difference is that people are dying.
Yep.
People are dying, and uh, the economy as well. And there needs to be some kind of balance. And it's I know some people feel that that we shouldn't be shutting down anything, but yet I disagree. I think this lockdown is necessary. We got to get a handle on the virus. But if the government isn't doing their part, if they're expecting only the people to wear their masks and wash their hands and social distance, if they're expecting only the businesses to shut down and lock down, people are going to be people. They're still going to
Mhm.
gather. Still going to be,
Mhm.
the visitors still coming in. And if the government isn't doing their part in effective contact tracing, effective testing, if the feds didn't jump in, there'd be no testing.
Mhm.
There would be no testing. And it's just I hope they understand. I don't think they have a what's next plan. I don't. I think they just wait,
Mhm.
and when the stuff crumbles, then they come up with something, in their morning briefing. And then the big problem is transparency. I mean, look, we was talking before you came on. Our Les Condo,
Mhm.
the director or the state auditor, they're not even transparent with him.
Yeah.
And he'll be on our show next week. It'll be interesting. But why aren't we all working together and sharing information with each other? I'm sure you guys in the small business world, in a retail
Okay.
merchant organization, I would assume you guys are all on the same page, right?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing
I,
with
I,
you
no,
because
I
that,
think you're
that's the
laughing at me.
question.
I know I'm checking to see if I have anything hanging on my
I would
face.
tell you, bro. I would tell you. No worries, no
I
worries.
know you would, Tina. I know you would.
But that's a question I get every day. What's going on? Why don't they have a plan? How come we're not working together? What's going on? Why aren't they more transparent? Why can't they give us the numbers? And I'm like you. I don't know. We ask these questions and we don't get answers either. You know, but that's why business is so frustrated. You know, let's face it, Hawaii is so dependent on tourism. And I don't care if you work directly in the visitor industry or not. It's like the story of the $20 bill, right? Visitor comes to Hawaii, pays for the hotel with the $20 bill. Hotel takes that $20 bill, gives it to the front desk clerk. Front desk clerk takes that $20 bill, goes buy a plate lunch. The plate lunch person, goes and buys the vegetables from the local farmer. Local farmer takes that $20 bill, gives it to the delivery person so he can deliver the vegetables and stuff to the supermarket. And the delivery person buy shoes for the child. Well, without that $20 bill, there is no circulation of that money, and people are suffering. So we need to open up tourism, but like I said, in a safe way. And we got to start thinking about it now. You cannot just come 2 days before. I mean, I was in the hotel industry for 23 years. And so I kind of know you don't just say, okay, tomorrow we're going to open up the hotel. They've been closed for a while. They need to deep clean. They need to hire their employees. They need to train their employees. I mean, it's the same thing with retail. The turnaround to open up is not quick. But we all need to know too that when those people come off the plane, we know which ones who've been tested and are negative, which ones have not been tested, who hasn't done the form, who's actually a resident, who's actually visiting or pretending to be a resident type of thing. We need more controls and we need to know how are these going to happen. I think Kauai, is doing it right. I think your mayor is doing it right. He shuts it down. He really takes care of your community, and he has the big picture. He's not seeing the here and now. He's looking at the bigger picture, and a couple weeks down the road and a month down the road, how is this going to affect everybody? And that's what we need more of, I think. I've seen him, do his updates and everything. So residents of Kauai, we know what's going on, listening to those things. But for the rest of us, the question is, so what's going on? What's going on today? What's in the order? Is there a new order today? Do we know when it's coming out?
Mhm.
What's the
Actually,
plan?
when you watch the governor's press conference, you walk away feeling like we got nothing to worry about, that we're in top shape, that things are moving right along, and we shouldn't be too concerned as long as we wear our masks, social distance, because it's our fault, right? It's
Mhm.
everybody's fault that the virus is spreading, and to some extent he's correct, but there's no acceptance of government's responsibility or accountability at all. There's absolutely none. I had a question. Do you meet regularly with the economic development people at the state or the county level? Is there someone at the state level or county level? And it's more of a state issue, but is there anyone hearing your guys' concerns if they're not watching the news and seeing the interviews that the media is doing with you folks? Is there someone out there that's taking your concerns?
We hope there is. We haven't talked to them though. Um, you know, a lot of times when, and I'm being real. For those of you who don't know me, don't ask a question you don't want an answer to, because I'm very black and white. I don't sugarcoat it. But when we do call, sometimes we don't get our calls returned, or a lot of times when you call, the numbers are busy. Um, so it's hard sometimes to reach out to people. Um, so you know,
Mhm.
a
So,
lot of people kind of feel like we're on our own. What is going on? What is the plan? Do we have a
so
plan?
there is no one saying, "Hey, Tina, this is whoever. I'm with the state economic development. I've been assigned to be the liaison between the state and the retail merchants and the chamber and the Filipino chamber and the Portuguese chamber and there is a Portuguese chamber on Oahu. So I
Yeah,
know you
there
guys think
is.
that's not too funny. But so there is no person. What the hell is so funny, Charlie?
Every
Yeah,
Portuguese joke is running through his head right now. I can see
I
it.
know. That was probably a mistake for me to bring that up. To where we're talking in my office about the Portuguese water dog, and one guy knew it was real. The other guy thought I was making a joke, but there is a Portuguese
Yeah,
water
there
dog.
is.
We invented the ukulele.
Uh-huh.
We were the original fishermen and fisherwomen that sailed the seas. So we needed a dog that would jump over the boat to go get something if we dropped it in the ocean, and that's what they were bred for. So
Yep.
anyway, it's your Portuguese lesson of the day. So there is no person, no one contact that
We,
your business organizations can reach out to, maybe have somebody's cell number, because yeah, for some
yeah.
reason the COVID has attacked all of the phone lines at the state capitol and at government offices throughout the state. Though it's not just you, Tina.
Yeah.
There is
And,
none. I guess I'm hearing.
and there is somebody that we met early on when this pandemic started, and the first closed down, but we haven't talked to them since. We've been working with some of the city people on their revitalization. More than welcome to work with anybody. Retail, it's not whether you're a member or a non-member. We're here to help everybody. We want to see businesses survive. That's our goal. It's heartbreaking to see businesses close forever or go bankrupt.
Well, I will say one thing, and it's sad, but I don't know how the rest of you out there feel. But having the Surgeon General here was like a sigh of relief. But then there's this immediate sense of fear when it was told he's leaving today.
Yeah.
Because it's like, first thing I said is, oh, now what do we do? Because he came here, took command. He says, hey, this is how it's gonna be, and that's how our governor should have been from the start.
Mhm.
Give the presence. Even if you never know what the hell he was doing, just give the presence that, hey, I'm a strong leader. Let's go for it, right? But crying out loud, when the surgeon, when the mayor said that, we are so happy to have the Surgeon General here who's been here 4 to 5 days, but today's his last day. Oh, I just went, oh no, oh, we in trouble now. Because why? Proof is in the pudding, right? Right,
Hmm.
Tina? Proof is in the pudding. You have these leaders, zero, zero. We all can say that because we watch it unfold in front of us. We
Hmm.
watch it unfold in front of us. It's like when they have these meetings every single time with the Department of Health. We watch it unfold. We don't need contact tracing. Oh, we got it under control. You sure you need help? No, no, no. We got it under control. When the thing is like on forest fire and they forget cut the fire break, now what you gonna do? The damn thing burning us down. And what do? They run and they hide in one corner. We don't see them again. It's tough. It's tough. So I can see the point with retailers. They all they're doing is looking for a little lifeline because right now their head is underwater.
Hmm.
I mean, that's the fact. Their head is underwater. They're looking for a lifeline, and just when they got a little bit of air, and just like when it looks like there's a little hope, then we come back over there and shove their head under the water again. I don't think
Yeah.
that's fair. I don't think that's fair.
I've heard from other experts that claim their heads are somewhere else. Uh, we're not going to go there. This is a family show.
Okay.
So, Tina,
That's part of the after show.
yeah, people asking about this shirt, ladies and gentlemen. This shirt was created by our friend Kirk Correa, who's actually on tonight. I don't know. See, this thing mirrors the. Anyway, there it is. It says, "Don't be a okole puka, COVID-19, Kauai, Hawaii." The last time Tina was here, we know Mayor Derek Kawakami called those people doodle boys, and Tina came up with this term, okole puka. I'm not gonna say what it is. Go figure it out. Google it, whatever. But anyway, this shirt has, this shirt sold a lot of shirts. I got to tell you, we sold a lot of shirts, and we're probably gonna have to do a reprint now that you're on and market the Okole Puka shirts. Anyway, so Tina, what happens now? What I mean, you guys are in a holding pattern, waiting for direction or information. Your membership, how's the? I mean, the people able to hang on and even continue to be a member? I mean, are you? If there are retail merchants in this state right now that want to help in the lobby, um, how can they contact you or your organization?
We're at rmhawaii.org, rmhawaii.org, or they can call us at 59, what is our number? 592-4200. It's with these smartphones nowadays, you don't need to know what your number is, you just press it. But if you Google Retail Merchants of Hawaii, it'll take you to our website. We are a membership-based organization, and almost daily, at least 2-3 times a week, we send out a COVID update. And basically what that is, any mayor's order that comes out, you'll have a copy and we'll kind of put down the cliff notes on it. Oh, that's kind of old school, but we kind of give you a synopsis of what that is. If there's any loans that are coming out that are available, we put those on. Any type of information, if it's a free seminar, we'll put those type of information on. Anything COVID related that we feel that might help any type of business, and we send that out to everybody who's a member.
Well, you heard it, people. If you guys have a small business, you're a retail merchant, you want to jump on board with the lobby, rmhawaii.org. It's on the screen. Go ahead and get on for information and get on board. It's going to take, a lot of, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, that's kind of how this thing works. And the more stronger the lobby, the more strong, and a lot, in the defense of many legislators and even some people in administration, they don't know what they don't know, and they're so focused on being political and doing what everyone is telling them to do. They don't know what they don't know. So it's our job to inform and educate them as well.
Mhm.
So the RM Hawaii is a great way to do that. Like-minded people, all with the same goals and objectives, can get a lot more done. And it's going to be critical in this next couple of weeks to get get a plan out from the administration so we can better plan and prepare for our futures. Whether you're a business owner or you're a person at home that's still waiting to get called back to work, this is going to impact everybody. But Tina's organization can help, and let's go get it done.
Thank you. Yes, we were all in it together.
I
Well,
know.
well, our good friend Kurt Correa said that the special shirt that was developed, the saying was coined by our guest tonight, that he's willing to, for the next hour or maybe to midnight, whatever that address is, Mel, the shirts, Okolipuka shirts, $10 a shirt.
Wow.
Not a bad deal.
Then, if you want a shirt, direct message Kirk Korea, because if we go to the website, they take fees, all of that nonsense. So just direct message myself or Kirk or Charlie, and then we'll make
We,
sure Kirk gets that order.
yes, I'm really good at forwarding messages onto
Yeah,
Mel or Kurt. So just, yeah, do it, and and
here
I
it
don't,
is again. Here it is.
yep, and
Red,
for,
blue, black, green,
yeah,
purple. It's incredible. Wear this around. Actually, I'm gonna buy a bunch just so I can toss them to the knuckleheads that are being okolipukas. And
yeah.
awesome.
Well, I am, and I promise you, folks, if you message me, I do not charge any fees for forwarding it on to Mel or Kurt. It's free of charge. I'll forward the message on to them, just to let you know.
So Tina,
Yes.
you're gonna have the last say. You're gonna be able to. Okay, this is the deal. This is what happens with our show.
Okay.
We will have probably 6,000 people that actually. Oh, the governor watches this after hours because he doesn't want to come on when we're on because the name. We we uh we have a ton of legislators that come on. We definitely have a bunch of community members that come on. We have a lot of people, decision makers that come on, and they're going to watch your message. So if if you had the ear of those that make decisions, and you can take as much time as you want, this is your opportunity, Tina, because they will hear you. I promise you.
So be
Your
unfiltered then.
time, your time starts now.
I want to thank you guys for having us on again. It's always a great opportunity to let people know what's going on with retail. And right now, it's a kind of doom and gloom for a lot of them. Retail has been on life support now since early March, and a lot of businesses have closed. We need help. We need help with lease rent. We need a program that's going to help out with that because that's the main reason a lot of stores are closing and their debt is so high. We realize that there have been loans out there, but some businesses were too scared to do it because they just didn't want to incur any more debt onto what they already had. And PPP loans didn't guarantee that it was going to be a grant. So we're seeing a lot of businesses closing. We're seeing a lot of mom and pop stores closing. We're seeing big businesses closing, national brands that are closing. And it's getting very scary here in Hawaii. We need to have a lot more transparency on what's going on, especially with the Department of Health and all the testing. Where is it happening? Who's has it? Where is it? The hot spots, not just in churches, what community. We need be a little bit more transparent there. We need to find out what is that tourism plan that is coming out. There's so many retailers right now that are dependent on it. And we've heard like if some have 7 stores, they've already canceled the lease on 3 or 4 of them, and they don't know if they're going to cancel the lease on more. That means there's less jobs too. We're so dependent on tourism, but we want to be sure that we want to know what is this plan. We want to be sure that when Hawaii opens, it is safe and not people just walking off the plane and coming directly into our stores, infected or not infected, and not knowing that. We want to be sure that anybody who comes into our store is going to be safe, that is a clean environment, that you don't have to worry when you come shopping. It's just so disheartening to see so many people who are not following the rules anymore. And we get it. It's been happening for a long time. Masks are not comfortable to wear, but we got to do it, you know. And it's not about you, it's about the safety of other people. Wear that mask correctly above your nose and of covering your mouth, not on your chin, not in your hand. Don't walk into the store and then take it off, you know. We want to be sure that our customers and our, especially our employees, are safe. And that's the only way that's going to happen. We have to be sure that, you know, there's a lease rent program out there that's going to help a lot of businesses. um, they're tanking right now. There is a grant program out there. We did a study, and I think the study said something like, I'm just going to read really carefully, quickly. 1 in 3 businesses have not paid their rent. 1 in 10 businesses did not pay their rent at all. And 41% who have not paid their rent currently remain closed. And 61% have not received any rental assistance from their landlords. And that's kind of disheartening to see. And that was a survey that was done by over 1,200 various tenants and landlords. So the problem is real. We're not making it up. And, you know, if government doesn't step in and help businesses, businesses are going to die. When businesses die, that means there's no jobs. And if there's no jobs, you're still going to have a lot of unemployment. You know, so we need to start investing a little bit in business too. We understand, and we're not saying don't help out those who are unemployed. We also have to help them out, but there has to be a balance, because we need businesses to reopen again, and we need to have them done safely. We need to be sure that tourism is being open safely, and that there is a plan, and we need to know the plan so we can start, you know, implementing the plan. And so, you know, it's hard. We encourage everyone to shop at your local businesses, you know, support them online or whatever you can, because we realize even if it is a national retailer, you know, buying at that store, you're also supporting those employees who are our family members, our neighbors, and our friends who work there. So I want to thank everybody, and I hope everybody stays safe out there. Wear your mask, social distance, you know. And if you guys have any questions with regards to retail, you know, I'm always available. You can call or email me. And you don't have to be a member. We're helping everybody right now. And by the way, if you do join membership, you get the rest of the year for free, and your next billing won't be until January 2022. So,
Damn. Charlie, let's join. Let's go
Yeah,
start a business, man. Let's go start a business.
yeah.
rmhawaii.org. It's on the screen, guys. Just go check it out. Check it out. You heard her. You don't get billed till next year. You get the whole year free.
no, you
The-
got to pay out first, and then you get the rest of the year free.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, what's that?
So you pay membership now, and then you get the next billing you won't get until January
Oh,
2022. Yeah,
I
so you
got
get a
it.
few months free. You get it like 4 months free.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I got it. Smart move. That's a great
Yeah.
market. Yeah. Hey, rmhawaii.org. You guys got to check it out. And even if you're not a member, check it out. Send them an email. Ask the question, because right now, I tell you, I don't know how we've been yelling this message for months now about taking care of each other, and we're gonna get through this if we are doing things together and for each other. And some people don't listen. Some people hot head, and I just don't understand why. Because this thing is so bad, so bad. Anyway, Charles.
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, as always, I will thank our guest, the lovely Tina Yamaki. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Tina.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it
me. It's
very much.
always a pleasure and an honor.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being real with the viewers about the plight that is now being faced by retailers throughout the state. It's not an easy one. I wish there was a crystal ball right now that can give us definite answers, but there's none in sight. To our viewers out there, we have a very, very hard battle in front of us. I would like to say to you, I thank all of you that come on nightly to watch us, because that's the only way I think we're staying connected. We're getting information. You're giving us information as well as we're giving you information. I did get a call from a very, very dear friend today that said that he and his family, they have a family time where they're texting each other because they're all on Oahu, and some are on the other islands, but they're texting each other and they're picking up information that we're sharing here. So tonight's another bit of information about our retail family and the plight that they're faced with and the difficulties that we face with. So I just want to thank all of you out there. Thank you so much for staying connected. And we're gonna try to do this. There are some issues. This issue with the retailers is far from gone, but they need help, and we need to find them the help. Uh, we do have issues regarding our prison system, even though we haven't talked about it tonight. But folks out there, you know who you are. Keep up the fight because things are happening. Trees got shaken, so things are happening. And to the rest of us, for those of you that didn't see my brother Mel's video today, you get a chance, go and watch it. It's coming straight from the heart. What do you do? We have sacrificed so much in this troubled times, and yet there are some few that believe that it's their God-given right to defy what we all had to have put up with. And to those who feel that it's your right to defy, I'm sorry. If you ask me for help, I'm going to have to say no because, we're all sticking our necks on the line. It's to help each other. And if you don't want to be part of the lifeline, then I'm sorry. So thank you very, very much. Brother Mel, turning it over to you, brother.
Roger Dodger, Tina, thank you again. I'm going to put up this Okole Puka shirts, only $10 each until 9 o'clock tonight. Private message, Kirk. I know I see a bunch of you guys putting them in the comments. I don't know if Kirk can see them. So just private message him, whatever, direct message him, messenger him. Just let him know that you're interested in the shirts, and he'll take care of you. I promise you. Um, yeah, I just get a lot of. So I get stuff. I rather Kirk do them, but if you shame talk to Kirk, then send them to me. I'll make sure Kirk gets it. But anyway, thanks Tina for that wonderful Okole Puka slogan. We might even, Charlie, that business that we start, let's call it
Yeah.
the Okole Puka. Let's call it Okole Puka Design or Consulting. How's that? Okole Puka Consulting. I think that's
Well,
what.
well, I saw another one that might be coming out, another shirt that might be coming out, and
Family show, remember.
um, but I'm gonna say what it is because this is brother Kurt. This is for you. Brother Kurt's coming out with a new shirt, and it says, "Politicians and diapers need to be changed often for the same reason."
Ooh,
Only on Kauai. So I
ooh.
love it.
I guess Charlie not looking for a state job anytime soon.
Oh,
Hey, tomorrow night we have Megan Cowell. She's an attorney on Oahu. She's going to be talking about the prison release program. I tried to get Justin Kohler, our prosecutor. Unfortunately, he had a prior commitment, so it'll be Megan discussing the prison release program um, to let us know what is really going on as far as letting the inmates go. Monday we'll have Sherry Menor McNamara from the Chamber of Commerce. She'll be on and sharing as well what the impacts are from a little different perspective. Tuesday, Lieutenant Governor Josh Green will be here at 7 o'clock, and he is going to give us the lowdown. That one should be interesting. Wednesday and Thursday is going to be one of those days. Will be the auditor. I'll find out on Monday, unfortunately. And then Friday, we're looking at bringing on some jail guards, some corrections officers that have had it as well. Want to share their experiences. We're working on legal issues as well as technical, so we can make sure that their identities are protected. That's how bad it is. They're afraid to speak up, but we're going to give them that platform so they can do so and be completely safe. So, other than that, Tina, again, thank you so much. Good luck to you. Everybody shop, go spend your money, buy, support your small businesses because we got to keep them around until the state figures out what the heck is going to happen next. So,
I get this. I don't know who this person is, Warren Haruki, but he's
oh,
asking that Patsy and Stephanie come on next week. Um, y- you know, um, hello, hello. Is the signal going out? Hello, hello. I can't see you folks. Hello.
Warren Haruki. If Warren Haruki can convince my wife and your wife to come on, Warren Haruki, I will let my wife bake you whatever you like bake free for a year.
Yep. Yeah. If you
It's
can,
not gonna happen.
if you can convince that Roaring Haruki, I will make you Maui's own Guri Guri for a year.
Warren Haruki is yeah. We will get Warren on. Warren, as you know,
Yep.
Grow Farm,
Hmm.
uh, Big Boss, good
Yep.
friend of mine, Kawaii Boy. Started off as a night auditor in a hotel, and now he's like controls so much stuff here in Hawaii. Great guy, community servant. We're gonna get him on the show too, but we're waiting for the right timing on that. And
Yes.
so it's all I can say. Warren Haruki should come on. See, they're already asking him. They're still asking him. So anyway, he will be on at some point in the near future. But we went beyond the time again, Tina. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much,
Thank
Tina.
you.
To you viewers, I got to tell you, we love you so much. Thanks for all the compliments and comments about today's 15-minute burst that I threw out there. Um, it just pissed me off, and I wanted to, I needed to vent and appreciate you guys. I felt much better after that. With that, we'll see you guys tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. God bless. We love you guys so much. Take care. Stay safe. Aloha, Tina.
Thank you.
You take care.
You too.